We got to count how many drinks because he had a mug.
He had a
and
mug.
then he had a Starbucks
and then
or something.
No, then he had the
clear,
like little the bottle.
The clear one. Oh.
And now the jug. Don't worry, I'm gonna put these all together.
I love it.
And welcome back to the Riley Black Project, Crystal and John.
Hey.
We may look a little different. I got some new shirts on.
Yeah, some new shirts.
New shirts.
Can't see them.
The chains. Our swag. Don't know if you saw the bling bling.
Our coolie guy chains.
Yeah, our coolie guy chains. Which that's a foreshadowing.
Right.
Our coolie guy chains. Yep. So this episode is brought to you by
Katie with Monarch Pine. So she has a new website.
Right.
Where you can find, it's the same stuff, but a new location. So if you're looking for jewelry findings or keychain blanks or other things, blanks, just
findings
whatever.
And things.
Findings and things. Check her out on monarchpine.com. It's so hard not to say.
You almost said it.
monarchpine.com. And use code Riley Black to get 10% off. However, if you're a patron, you get more. So make sure to find your exclusive.
$6 a month and it pays for itself.
Exactly.
Also, if you're not part of the Riley Black Project Community Facebook group, join that. You get knows what's going on and if we're not going to be on one day.
Yeah,
for
that's where all the shenanigans and info
That's right.
go.
And if you're a patron, we have a patrons only TRBP Hangout Facebook group as well. We have a ton of Facebook groups.
Too many.
Too much time to go through. We could do a whole episode on just Facebook groups.
But those are the two most important.
But those
right
are the
now.
two that are important to the show.
Yes.
We have any other housekeeping stuff?
I think that's it.
Or do we get into it?
I think let's get into it.
Well, our guest today is another husband and wife power team. Coolie Guy was coined on their first episode. What was it?
164.
164. I already forgot. We just looked it up. I already forgot it. Some fun facts are they taught their AI to love lasers.
Smart.
Yeah. And then, as you know, we're doing a whole thing of events. And at their event, there will be a, what do they call it? A loot box. But unfortunately, you can't eat it.
Oh, man.
You can't eat it. And their event is much like summer camp.
Yeah.
So.
But you forgot the most important part.
What's that?
Who's the DJ?
DJ Derek. You guys may not know. You guys may not know DJ Derek just yet. But just listen to the show. You're going to learn. You're going to love him. He's the best DJ. Polly who? Polly who? It's DJ Derek. That's what it is. Welcome to the show, Kim and Garrett. How's it going?
Oh, thanks for having us. Thank you. I like the merch, but I didn't see it past the chain at first.
Yeah.
The chain kind of caught my eye.
Yeah. New, and on the back, it's the website, and it says Film Crew. So that it pops out, and people ask, what are you filming here, whatever, and I'm like, oh, nothing, but I can be filming your next event and hand them a card.
There you go.
You know, it's just eye popping. So they ask, what's that? What's being filmed here?
Yeah,
or whatever. It's
like,
like,
looks very
nothing.
official.
Yeah. It's like, no, nothing's being filmed here. But do you have a business? Because we could be filming.
We can arrange that.
That's
right.
So
you got to tell them it might be a Tom Cruise flick. So I'm not supposed to say anything.
Right? My NDA says I can't disclose.
Yeah.
So you guys were on, like we said, episode 164. So tell people, maybe if they're tuning in, for the first time, or they're living under a rock and they don't know who Kim and Garrett are.
Right.
Who are you guys?
I'm Garrett.
And I'm Kim.
At about, I guess, 6 years ago, we tried to convince our kids to start a YouTube channel. We thought they were hilarious. And to do that, to convince them how easy it is to start a YouTube channel, we started our own YouTube channel, which ended up turning into our day jobs.
Yeah.
So
yes.
It's,
so cool.
It was a pretty big journey getting here. It wasn't like overnight.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a slow climb. It's not. We weren't overnight stars.
And it's been an emotional.
We're still working on that.
Emotional. Oh,
you
somebody
your headphones
up there.
Oh man.
Yeah, your headphones are tangled in your chain.
Okay.
Yeah, a
Carry
little
on.
bit
I'm just
behind
on the
the
struggle
scenes.
bus over here. Oh,
We
now
know-
my glasses
we
are
know-
coming
oh,
off.
man. We not only do we know the struggles of the chains, but we also know the struggle of climbing because we're in the process of climbing as well.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna.
well, I mean,
I
you
can't
see
hear
right
you.
there.
We're gonna pick your
More
brain
money, more
after
problems.
this to see how we
Well,
can be like Kim and Garrett.
That's right, and I want those more problems. That's what I
Right.
want.
He's
The mo-
having more and more problems right now.
She is. She just keeps tangling and tangling.
It's
Right.
getting
Right.
worse.
It's getting worse and not better.
Don't worry about me here.
So, for those that don't know, I told the story of JR calling me a coolie guy for wearing my gold chains.
Oh, that was
So
JR.
that's-
Who said it?
Huh? Yeah, that was JR's. Remember he said what are you trying to be a coolie guy when
Yeah.
I went to my cousin's house and I was wearing my gold
Oh,
chains.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's where coolie guy came in. It's the first thing I thought of when she made the TRBP sign with the gold acrylic and the chain. I'm like, oh, that's totally coolie guy.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought
Yes.
of when I saw it on the video.
So your event is the Jamboree.
Yeah.
And it's the beginning of June, right? June.
It's over our anniversary. You should know the date.
Well, our anniversary is the 6th. I'm trying to remember the first
Oh, okay.
and the
Yes,
last.
it's the 6th.
Yeah, okay, it's going to be during the 6th. I know that. The 5th through the 9th, isn't it?
6th through the 8th?
Or 6th through the 8th?
6th through the 8th, yeah.
Our
6th through the 8th.
our trip is the 5th through the 9th.
Oh, okay. True.
That's why
Yeah.
I
I'll
have
give you
those
that.
dates.
I'll give you
That's why I
that.
have
Okay.
those dates. Because spoiler alert, we'll be there.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so you know it's going to be popping.
Of course, right?
We hope. DJ Derek is going to make it popping.
The
That's-
DJ
Oh, yeah.
Derek is coming.
Mhm.
I mean, so you know it's going to be hype. So
Yeah.
what we wanted to do is we wanted to throw like a laser get together,
Mhm.
but I didn't want it to be a conference. Because do you want to go to a conference? I didn't want it to be an
I
expo.
do.
I mean, who wants to go to an expo?
We tried to figure out.
We just,
Well, we
we
had
just
to
went
have
to
make
one. It
it
was actually pretty
super
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
So everybody loves a jamboree. So if I said you want to come to a laser jamboree, like, who's not in?
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Literally.
And we had a whole conversation. I said, all right, let's just talk about what do you want to do? What's
What do I wanna
the
do
feel
is- the feel
of
is
this thing?
summer
Yeah.
camp. It's going to feel like I'm at summer camp where I get to play with some lasers and some UV printers.
Yeah.
I get to make some lifelong friends. I get to leave with a friendship bracelet, and I don't even get any poison ivy. There's no poison ivy involved.
That's
Right.
right.
Perfect.
Awesome.
So, bonus.
That's definitely a plus.
Right?
No poison ivy.
We forgot
Yeah.
to turn off the other light.
Huh? No, that one stays on.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about my production. I know
I
what's
feel a little washed out.
what
today.
lights
Yeah.
go
Carry on.
Stay in your lane, Crystal.
Stay in your lane.
Shut up.
You make the chains.
just
I
in
do.
time.
I do.
That's right.
So last year you guys did a cruise, right?
Right.
And then this year your people were kind of asking for something again, and this is what you ended up on, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So
The
last year,
cruise was amazing.
yes,
It was
was
way
so
better
fun.
than I thought it would be.
And it was super casual. We did do a couple of crafty things, but it was more about
We did some networking.
yeah,
like a
hanging
lot of
out, getting to
networking.
Yeah.
know some other folks that do
Like-
the same things that you do, make the
Right.
same types of things.
And what's cool about it is, there was a bunch of couples that came. There was like 45 people that showed up.
Yeah.
And the couples that came, they were all versions of Kim and Garrett. There's like a Texas
Yeah, they were
version,
flavors.
I
a
love it.
California, a Maine, a Boston version. And those people now have become friends because,
Right.
Mhm.
when you're out to sea and you've been through some things, you bond. So,
Some things just had to stay on the boat, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
But we got to hang out at the pool together. We had a few drinks, hang at the pool,
Yeah.
just chat about your business. Everybody would
Mhm.
talk about different things
well,
related to their
we
business.
did some classes where we all made a craft,
Yeah.
to make it businessy. And then we did do some business topics like how to grow, how to use social media and
Yes,
stuff. And
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We had a business. Yeah, there was a craft section, and then a little snack, and then we would do a little business topic, and then we would go have fun. Like I said, hang out at the pool, meet for dinner. We got to all meet at like one. Well, we didn't have one big table, but we had
Yeah.
3 tables next to each other. So every night we would swap tables and
Nice.
just have an opportunity to chat with somebody different.
then they had theme nights.
And
And
then,
one of
yeah,
the theme nights was 70s night. And we love a good dress up.
Morning.
I thought we were
Morning.
gonna show up and be like the only ones dressed up, like when you go to a costume party.
Nice.
Like we're the only couple that shows up dressed up. I thought it was going to be one of those again.
Yeah.
But no, everybody showed up and showed out.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Afros, gold shoes.
It was
time.
70s night.
We have an
Hawaiian
outfit.
night. And
We have
so,
an
yeah,
outfit?
we made sure we warned everyone.
Yeah, we warned everybody.
Well, the outfit that was a hit at the Eon party and APA.
Oh,
We could always bring the Riley Black outfit.
the Riley Black outfit.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a hit.
Party.
That was big.
Hey guys, how great would it feel if this was the year you finally got to escape the 9-to-5 and embrace a lifestyle of creativity and entrepreneurship?
Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, Eon Laser USA invites you to join the Above and Beyond webinar, where you'll learn how you can make this a reality.
Join leading laser industry professional and brand ambassador Emily, aka That Mom with a Laser, and Eon Laser USA's sales manager Alicia as they dive into all things Eon.
Learn about the advantages of owning an Eon Laser and get the scoop on Eon's rewards and partner benefits. Plus, get a glimpse at how everyday people who started out with zero experience paid off their lasers, scaled their businesses, and transformed their lifestyles.
So if you're ready for a lifestyle change, head on over to eonlaser.us/whyus and sign up for the Above and Beyond webinar today.
Thanks for listening. Laser on.
Bye. Lone Star Adhesive has elevated the industry standard with their premium leatherette, UV printed goods, and American-made products in leather, acrylic, PVC, and their indestructible thermal activated adhesive.
You can check them out at LoneStarAdhesive.com or join their Facebook community of nearly 30,000 fellow makers who share the belief that you shouldn't cut corners and instead stick to excellence.
Lone Star Adhesive official group is where it's at, and you can use code TRBP15 to get 15% off your next purchase.
Go get you some.
Go. Now.
So is there a theme night at the Jamboree?
We don't know. We're thinking about it. We're thinking about it. I just can't tell. So the people that are kind of helping us, our moderators, our mentors, our little group, our little inside group that kind of is helping us plan this whole thing, they're all for it.
Yeah.
And because most of them were on the cruise.
Yeah, most of them were on a cruise, so they want to cheat and do another 70s night.
Yeah,
Right,
they did
yeah.
ask for another 70s night. I was like, we're going to have to switch that up if we're
Right,
going to do
let's take it up a decade.
I vote for 90s.
Right, I was going to say, we need like a hip-hop theme.
Yeah.
We got the
We'll have
jeans.
some cardboard out there, a boombox.
Exactly.
But we'll have prizes for like the best windmill and then the
Nice.
best broken hip.
Yeah, right?
Right, I was going to say, you're going to need a side of Advil or Tylenol
I hope
there as
DJ
well.
Derek has those jeans.
We're gonna need a
Sponsored by,
sponsor.
we
Yeah,
need to
we
do
need a-
sponsors.
Right.
Sponsored by Excedrin. Right.
Right.
So we definitely want to do in the evenings. We are going to have some fun in the evenings. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
want to
So
do
the-
more of that kind of atmosphere from the cruise, but bringing it here too.
So Friday, we're going to have a bunch of sessions. We're going to have sessions where you get to walk through these different areas. So it's going to be held at our shop right here, and we have different areas set up in our shop already.
Mhm.
So we're just going to break those out into some workshops. So we'll have a painting workshop where you'll learn some paint techniques. You'll get in there and you get to take a couple of swings at like the wood grain tool and
Some
faux,
other,
making
Nice.
faux stuff,
Yeah.
you know.
faux
and then-
finish rollers. Yes.
And like you said, one of your sponsors is going to come and be one of our sponsors, Katie with Monarch and Pine.
Nice.
Monarch Pine.
Thank you.
Yeah. Monarch Pine, yes. Everyone does it. Yeah, and then Melody, she's supposed to be coming
Yep,
as
Melody
well.
will be here.
We might
Yeah.
do
So they're
something.
going to do a jewelry making thing. Yep, with the keychain thingies, some
Mhm.
keychains.
Mhm.
And then Josh, right? With
Yep,
Lone Star
Josh will be here.
Adhesive.
So we want to do some things with Lone Star Adhesive. We have the desktop lasers set up, so we'll be able to do some things with the Lone
Nice.
Star Adhesive. We're going to have some fiber lasers set up, so we can mess around with some fiber lasers. We have
Nice.
bigger CO2 lasers, some industrial things, and our Eon that we get to play with and learn some light burn tips and tricks for production,
Mhm.
not just crafting. Like we
Yeah.
want to pump some of these things out, so a lot of people. Then we'll get into some UV printing, both roll to roll and some flatbed.
Nice.
Logo Jet's going to be here, so you
Yeah.
get to learn hands-on and not just from what we tell you.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I saw Samita said that they were attending, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're going to be here.
Yep, they're going to be here. So Patrick with Houston Acrylic is also going to be here.
Nice.
He's going to be doing something a little bit different with some other materials. We're kind of excited. We don't have those details worked out quite yet, but we've had a lot of good conversation. So we'll see what kind of things he comes up with.
We'll do some apparel printing with the new X2 apparel printer. So the thought is, as you go through here, you're going to make your own swag bag. You'll get to paint some things. That's part of your swag bag. You get to make some keychains that you'll take. You'll get to make some hat patches or some leather items. And all the way through, you'll get to make some acrylics, print and cuts in the back.
Nice.
You'll get to make some decals, some tumblers. There's a bunch of stuff that's going to go into your goodie bag, which is going to turn into a loot box for other people.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So cool.
So we're really excited about it. And I think that folks are going to, because the community that's coming is a maker community. So I think they're really going to love the hands-on aspect and being able to do and make something, but keep it casual. I just want to keep it fun.
Yeah, kind of like a jamboree. You go around, you get to learn how to tie a knot.
Yeah.
You get to learn how to whittle some sticks.
Yeah.
You get to learn how to set a fire. Same type of thing. We're going to do the same type of thing.
Are you going to have archery in the back?
That's right.
Yeah.
Do some archery in the back. Watch
and
the
a
old
laser
lady
cut
next
target.
door. She gets to roaming sometimes. Make sure she's not behind the target.
See, that's what you do.
Right.
You cut the target out over in the lasers. Then you come over and you paint the target in the paint station.
Of course.
And then you take it out back and then you throw some arrows at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because it's painted with those Foxy Hues paints, it's got the
of course.
It doesn't matter if it sits in the sun.
Weather protection.
It doesn't matter if it rains.
You got a target all
I hear
year
those
round.
paints are awesome.
Yeah, I heard they were pretty cool.
They're pretty cool.
So at night when the sessions are over, we're gonna have some networking, and then we're gonna have some possible karaoke like Friday night.
Oh snap!
We might have a special guest who's stoked on doing karaoke.
Oh, Tyson's coming.
We'll see. Right. We're working on it.
We're working on it.
Iron Mike Tyson, huh?
Yeah,
that's right.
Something like
How'd
that.
You swing that? Just kidding.
Well, you and me.
Right. So. Free face tats too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with Foxy Hues
on the side.
Right? Yeah,
only
with Foxy
tribal
Hues.
designs, though.
Yeah.
Only tribal designs.
Yeah, is it skin friendly? I don't know. Maybe.
It will
Saturday, it's going to be the same thing because not everybody's going to be able to get through on Friday. So Saturday will be the same thing. But the big difference will be some closing ceremonies where we'll give out some awards. You'll earn some awards along the way. They'll play a hidden game along the way. And you'll be able to win some things. And then after all that's said and done, we have a special guest, DJ Derek will be here, and he'll be spinning the latest tunes.
The latest tunes?
Sorry. The slappin'est, boppin'est tunes from the 80s and 90s.
Nice. Perfect.
So
I'm there for that.
Did you lock down DJ Derek? Because I know there was a few DJs being thrown around. Did you lock him down?
Yeah, we paid a pretty penny to get him to come, but
it was
he'll be here.
Right. We sweetened the deal. We made it worth his while. He'll be here.
Did you give him a lot of extra tea?
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of tea involved. There needed to be some Wawa mozzarella sticks and gallons of tea on hand.
Gallons of tea.
Yeah, he said we'd be here for that.
Perfect.
The Riley Black Project is sponsored by Monarch Pine.
Monarch Pine is your trusted source for premium laser blanks and jewelry findings. From large loop earring hooks made specifically for acrylic and wood earrings to laser-tested stainless steel necklace and bracelet blanks, they have everything you need to bring your creative ideas to life.
As a maker, you know the value of quality supplies. And that's exactly what Monarch Pine delivers. Whether you're crafting as a hobby or running a full-time business, their products make it easy to design confidently and create stunning pieces.
Head to monarchpine.com and use code RileyBlack to get 10% off your order. Riley Black patrons get an even bigger discount, so don't miss out.
While you're at it, join the Monarch Pine Craft Supply Insiders Facebook group. It's a vibrant community where makers share tips, inspiration, and their incredible creations.
Monarch Pine, where your creativity takes center stage. Visit monarchpine.com and use code RileyBlack today.
Not tomorrow. Today. Attention all laser owners and crafters. Are you tired of spending hours cutting, painting, and assembling laser products? Look no further than the Crazy Laser Dad's Laser Ready Blanks.
Their high-quality blanks are expertly sourced and tested and ready to use on your laser. Say goodbye to the hassle and frustration of time-consuming projects and hello to more time creating and selling.
Plus, with their wide selection of items, you'll surely find the perfect blank for your customers.
Visit crazylaserdad.com today and take your laser crafting to the next level with their Laser Ready Blanks. So some feedback I already heard from some people was that they were really excited for an East Coast event because there haven't been a lot of those. You know, there have been some meetups and stuff, you know, informal, but like ones that like if you're close enough to drive to, you'd probably go, but maybe not ones that you'd fly to if you're not within driving distance. Because again, it's just a smaller, you know, meetup. No, like not no special guests, because most of them do have a couple, like one or two special guests. But the fact that this is kind of, you know, it is a smaller, more intimate event, but it's an event that, you know, is open to everybody, 100 attendees, which is quite a bit. It's like small but large. You know, when I thought about our wedding, only having like 100 people was really difficult. Once you include all of their like spouses or plus ones or whatever, it's like 20 something people on each side. And I'm like, oh crap. Okay. So, but people were really excited about it being on the East Coast on something, you know, easy for them to get to. Cause, you know, some of them are West Coast or, you know, mid, like Dallas for next level, which they chose that because it's pretty central for everyone. It's not like easier for one person or another. But again, there's not a lot of events on East Coast. So people are really excited
that's why
about that.
When we did our cruise last year, we cruised out of
Galveston.
Yeah, Galveston, Texas, because it was central, just for that same reason.
Right.
But when we were looking at an event,
when Kim first said we should do an event, we should do like an expo, and I was like, no, not an expo, a jamboree. She said Las Vegas.
I did. I was like, what about that? Was before I had 17 events in Vegas this year, so
I don't want to go back to Vegas. I want people to come to the East Coast. There's a lot of East Coast people that won't go to Vegas or can't get to Vegas. And I was like, no, I want to do it East Coast.
Yeah.
And then we started looking for event spaces around here, which got real expensive real fast. I'm not an event planner, and with the cruise, the great thing about the cruise is, one, we had a travel agent that helped us.
Did the planning for you.
We just
showed up.
We worked with the cruise line and said, these are the things we want. And they made it happen. They were like, okay, we go into this room at this time and do your thing. So we shipped a box ahead of time with some stuff in it.
Nice.
And it was all there, which was great. Other than that, it was be here or be there, and that's all we did, was just kind of show up and have a good time. But this is a little bit different, and I was trying to figure out, what are the sessions, who can be here,
how big a space do we need,
how many different are there breakout rooms, and what does that space look like? Is there a vendor area? You know, it was getting real big real fast, because from the corporate world, I was in a lot of conferences. I know how they work. And then I've been to some of these laser conferences like Next Level last year. And I know how that's working. And I know that's getting even bigger. And I was like, are we doing that? And
I was like, no, we're going to scale it back. We're going to scale it back.
Well, and then right away they asked for 50%.
It was like,
everything is a minimum, like, what was it? Minimum 10,000. What was it?
No, it was like 15 for any of the hotels.
For the hotels and the space, and then then you had a food and beverage minimum, and
12.
Yes. So it was getting real expensive and real fast, and I hadn't sold a single ticket. I hadn't told anyone about it.
Right? Yeah, it was just an idea. Yeah.
Yes, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know. I'm not comfortable with that, and I'm not comfortable booking all this space and trying to figure out how to be the event coordinator. So we did talk to some of our little buddies that help us out, and anybody an event coordinator, anybody know how to do this? And they were like, oh, we're really willing to help.
Yeah.
But that's all I got. So
Right.
nobody had the
Yeah,
experience.
nobody ever put one on before.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that you just don't think about unless you are an event planner, of like kind of dabbled in it, because there's just so many things to cover that you don't realize until day of, and you don't have them. You're like, oh, okay, should have done that.
Yeah, well, then they started talking about audio visual and do you need a stage and do you need a projector? And what about the
and at the same time, I started thinking,
and all of that's dollar signs.
I can't get my lasers in here. How am I going to get my UV printer in
then
here?
real quick, you start thinking about what do the sessions look like, and if you want this thing to be hands-on, what am I going to hands-on with? You know, are they going to let me bring the lasers? Yes, like you said.
Well, and even if they say yes, logistically, that sounds awful.
Right? How am I going to get them there? What's not going to get a big one down there? So when Garrett kept saying, let's just do it here. Let's just do it here. I was like, nobody wants to come here. And then he was like, I think they do. I mean, they come and see us. People come in from out of town, or if they're driving from Florida to Maine or something, they stop in here.
We're right off 95.
Yes, we are literally off of 95, right? It's 2 lefts and you're at the interstate.
Like if we're all quiet, we can hear it.
Right. We're quiet.
On a nice cool day.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, you saying, you know, a lot of people wanted to come and stop by. Your ticket sales, I mean, they've been doing pretty well. You only have like as of the recording time, you only have about 20 tickets left, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So they did well.
That's awesome.
I was scared because I don't want to throw an event and be the only person sitting at the fire pit.
Listen,
I mean, we would have been there.
Right, we would have been there with you at least, and
we
Katie
would have recorded it, and then next year you would have been flooded with people.
Right, yeah.
That was I wanted s'mores.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was worried about that too when we did like our, you know, we did like one, not really a tour, but we had a meetup in Colorado when we went to go visit family. And, you know, it ended up only being like, I don't know, 5 or 6 people. And at first, like I was kind of in my feels and I was like, wait, this is a Friday night, like rush hour. Like it was kind of, you know, last minute. We gave them only a few weeks time. And with those 5 or 6 people, we had like a really good like conversation about business and all of that stuff. And it's like, even if it is only a couple people, like those couple people, one, took the time, you know, to come see you from wherever they're from. And there's always good conversation with laser people. So, you know.
Yeah, that makes me think of us in the pool so we weren't when we were hanging out in the pool at the cruise, when people would go in the day that we went over to the like adult area and we were busy, like just planning this or doing that. And
not
so
that kind of cruise.
Yeah.
A lot of upside down pineapples.
We did find one.
We saw some of that. But anyway, but you would see folks sitting at the pool just talking about their business and just getting to know and sharing, this is what we do.
Because everybody did a version of laser something. There's like, somebody just did a lot of bar stuff, just supplied restaurants and bars with engraved things.
Nice.
And somebody else did, their whole business was like those boxes that you put your pet's ashes in.
Oh yeah, the urns.
They're doing it. They're killing it just on those. So.
Yeah.
But they all had the same like problems and stuff. And
And the other thing is, because we're a couple, I think that appeals to a lot of people because maybe one or the other does the business, or maybe they do it together. I think they like coming. Most of the cruise people were couples. And I feel like with our ticket sales, I'm seeing them sell in 2s a lot. But there are some singles, and there were some singles on the cruise too.
Yeah, and bringing a friend
And I think that makes it fun because they can share what it's like to work with your spouse. I mean, you guys get it, right? So you work together, we work together, and then they can kind of have that commonality and share their.
Yeah, we had one couple as well at ours, and it was a lot of like her asking questions and then kind of like either validating, where she would thought. And then again, her husband's there like chiming in, like, I keep telling her that, but she doesn't want to hear that from me. Or, he would think, oh, you should do something like this. And we'd be like, well, that's like hit or miss. And so it's just things like we're either validating one or the other of them, or we're also kind of like, we're backing her up on certain things where we're like, I kind of get where, where she's coming from. And then one of the big ones was, she wasn't charging enough. And her husband kept telling her that. And we're like, sorry, we agree. You're not charging enough. So yeah, I agree with the couples draw, because it is really a unique thing, even if they're not like full time like we are and you guys are. If they have any kind of part in it, it's usually like, oh, they help with shipping, or they help with, and miscellaneous things.
That's how I started.
Yeah. And then they just...
That was my gateway drug.
Right, yeah. And it's relatable. So anything that you can do that, then makes it relatable to those other people is always a good time.
We just had that conversation with Emily when we were at the Eon event, and her husband, right?
Yeah.
How he would just in the background, it wasn't his thing.
Now he's
and
slowly getting more and more involved. And, I get a lot of questions about like working with your partner. And like the biggest one I get is like, how do you put up with Kim?
Right. And he gets it all the time. How do you put up with me?
Yeah.
And it's really about knowing whose strengths suit what job.
For sure.
Like, we have our separate roles and responsibilities.
Yeah.
Well, interesting thing is, I'll come back to the Jamboree, but the interesting thing about that is when you're in the shop during the day, because we're doing different things, like sometimes I'll just pass him, but I won't see him or chat with you for hours. Yeah, because we're all doing our other things,
Right.
I'm heads down doing my thing, and you're over there doing your thing.
Well, we talked at one point, and then we left, and we did something, and I felt like I came right back, and I asked you another question, and
that was yesterday,
and I was like, "What time is it?" And whatever time it was,
it was 7 o'clock.
Wow, it's been 90 minutes. It's been 90 minutes since I've seen you. That's crazy.
Yeah. When my back was to him, he would sneak out all the time.
I didn't sneak out. I just walked out.
He snuck out. He didn't tell me.
Fill my water, go to the restroom.
I'm sitting here like talking to him, and there's no response. And I turn around and he's not there. And I'm
Batman.
like, oh, cool. Good to know. Glad I was talking to myself.
We do. So with our office, we do share an office, and then we have in front of me, I have my monitors and a bookcase. So there is a sliver between two monitors that I look and see if he's over there. Are you even over there? I'm looking, most of the time I'm looking for his legs to see if his legs are at his desk.
I yell and wait.
Yeah, because I'll just behind my monitor, I'll be like, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And then I'll be like, are you even over there? No, he's slipped out too.
Yeah, now we shifted our setup, so he still faces. He still faces that wall, but now I face basically like his back, so I can see. He doesn't sneak out on me anymore. I can see when he heads out to go get water or whatever miscellaneous things. But
I can't wait till we have 3.0, so I'll have my own office.
Oh, I'll never see him
out of the garage.
Yeah. I'll see him on podcast days on Monday and whatever day is content days.
And then 6 o'clock for dinner.
Yeah. Might be kind of nice. I might be a little low. We're going to have to get like walkie-talkies or like, so at my mom's house, she had that, what was it called? The thing in the backyard. For kids. Playhouse.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I had a playhouse, and it had like a little intercom, and the intercom would go it went from the playhouse
your mom would have an intercom.
It came with the house. It came with the house in her defense.
I'm sure she was like that. That was the selling
point. To me,
point.
It was a selling point because I was in 5th grade. So
I mean,
she's like, I don't have to yell outside.
And it was an intercom in a house. I would buy it.
Right? So we'll definitely have to have one of those because, I'll need to, instead of me asking, because you always have your headphones on because you're usually like editing or listening to something. So I always have to be like, can you hear me? Because sometimes he'll even have them on, but they're not like playing anything at that moment. Right. So I have to like wait because too many times I've talked to him and then he'll be like, huh? And I'm like,
yes. Oh my God. Anymore. Yes. Or I'll do this. I just raise my hand, and he's like, "Yes, Kimberly."
Yes, you in the back.
I love that. Oh man. So what else? I mean, I'm excited. We were deciding if we were gonna fly or drive, right? But the flights were so cheap, and it is further.
Yeah. And because we would lose. There's no sense in losing a day,
right?
And I mean, it honestly, between if we rented a car and then if we the gas and everything, and it wasn't that the flights weren't that expensive, and we're bringing JR with us.
Yeah. He doesn't know it yet.
No, he doesn't know.
We can't tell him until like the week before.
Then he won't stop asking about it.
When are we going? How many days?
Yeah. What's going to be there? What are we going to do? Where are we going to sleep?
Can I bring my iPad?
Yeah. Am I going to be able to bring my Switch on the flight? All those questions.
Yeah.
So to avoid all of that, we haven't told him yet. We'll probably tell him on our way to the airport.
Right.
That's how you do it.
I feel
that
like
would be kind of fun.
Treat me.
You don't tell him before because he'll ask you a million questions and be annoying until.
What did you say on
And then I
Sunday
forget.
sessions? He literally, I've been planning these travel plans. We're going to San Francisco, and I said yesterday on our Sunday sessions, I said something about San Francisco or whatever, and you were like, "When is that?" I was like, "Next week. It's next week. Next week."
Every time.
And he was like, Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. I knew that. He did not know that. He doesn't have a clue. He's just waiting to show up. Tell me when to pack a bag and what he should wear.
Yep.
Literally him. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we have it in our calendar.
We do.
So I'll look at that when I make my own plans.
And then he'll still double check
still
with
forget.
me. Is there something?
Yeah,
is
do
there
we have
anything
anything
that's
going
not
on?
on the calendar that I forgot about? Yeah.
Yeah, because I've made those mistakes before,
Mm-hmm.
and I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, we're on our second size.
Yeah.
We're on our second size up. We're on our second size.
We
up.
got to count how many drinks because he had a mug.
He had a
and
mug.
then he had a Starbucks
and then he
or
had,
something.
No, then he had the
clear-
like little the bottle.
The clear one. Oh.
And now the jug. Don't worry, I'm gonna put these all together.
I love it. I was noticing them before, and then he like snuck it off camera. I'm like, I saw that.
I didn't see it. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. But I mean, these events, I feel like we say it a lot, but like we cannot stress enough that even if it's someone you have a pretty close relationship to, like online or whatever, being at these events just literally takes it to another level. You find
you didn't want to say
that
the next level?
no, I didn't. I had to change it up. But like, you find people that you're like, oh, like you're my people that you like are kind of surprised that like you vibed with well. You get to know somebody like better, like you guys in Vegas, we had a really good time with you guys, hanging out that one night. Chance was another one. Like I knew he was like fun and cool, but like he was more fun and cool than I thought.
Right, but actually hanging out and like seeing, like firsthand, it's like over the phone and online. It's like, oh, they're cool. There are people, and then you hang out with them, and it's like, oh no, it solidifies. Like, oh no.
Well, and a lot of times when you talk to them, online, it's normally about business. Like you can still kind of see the personality, but it's still mostly business. But when you go to these events and it's the after hours time and you have a drink, you relax a little bit, and then you see like truly them. Not that the other person isn't them, but that's like business them, I like seeing the other side of them and just hanging out with people. And then you always just, every time we go to an event, we leave with a new planned collab of some sort.
Yeah, like leaving Vegas in the
APA.
Jamboree.
Yeah, this was one of them.
Yeah, so it was one like, oh, we're definitely gonna really try to make it to come out, and now we are gonna come out.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be great for you guys, as far as like, since you have it there, you're gonna be like in your
zone,
like your area.
Yes.
You feel
comfortable. Yeah.
You're, even though you're still, because I mean, Mark and Will, when they run the event, a lot of it is like, oh, I don't know where, like, let me check on that. So it's like a lot of pressure. You're in your space, your space, where you have, for the most part. I mean,
right.
we
Well,
all
if you
lose
need
track of
something,
our
you're
own.
like, I know where I can find that, or something
Right.
that'll work.
Right, and it's a little, it's just a little less stressful when you're running an event and you're in your own space, and then people also get to come because you open it up to your patron followers first.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people are like your own, like your fans. It's
Right.
It's weird to say even
Paid
for
supporters,
you know,
yeah.
like your fans,
Yeah.
but it is what they are who watch your content regularly and know you from your content and like see this part, but then they get to show up and see like your monitor, your camera, and then like everything that
Behind
goes
the
behind
scenes,
and how everything like functions. And then when they watch it with another, because you guys don't just use this set. You guys sometimes are in the room with the machines and stuff. They're like, oh, if you take the next door over, that's where like the bathroom is, and then over here is where they're set.
It's kind of like seeing a house
feels,
when you're house hunting and then seeing a house in person.
Right, when you see
You've
the pictures
seen so
on
much
Zillow,
of it, but then you go see it in person, you're like, oh, that's over there.
That's why they
Flow,
have
how the
that
flow
there.
work, yeah.
Or getting to like getting to go to like a movie set and see
Yeah.
how it really works and stuff.
The green screen and
you get to see you get to see how the sausage is made.
That's you get to see.
Right. So that is
about as messy as making sausage.
Right. I was gonna say, you talked about how it's a little less stressful because it's here, but it's also stressful because
I got company coming. I got to clean.
Yes.
I've got company coming, and the house is a mess. It is the way it is with the shop.
It's not just any company. I like you were talking about. They're different online than they are in person. It's like having your pen pals come to your house for summer camp.
Well, really, you're showing them behind the scenes, like, you know. That broken stool, don't sit in that. That doesn't actually, don't sit on that.
Don't lean back.
That's just there.
Exactly.
I don't know why I haven't gotten rid of that. But
the zip ties are there for a reason.
Right. I'm not even kidding. We're like,
I get it. Yeah.
We have those things too.
And and then thinking about how the flow will work. So we've got this in our head and putting 100 people in here in June. Are we gonna, like yesterday? Even the front windows,
it could be
it's all windows.
Firefly Festival type thing. So
yeah,
come knowing that
it could be. I mean, I'm gonna try and.
Are you gonna serve? What was it like?
Bring bread, cheese, and
cheese
water.
on a bread. Yeah, cheese on.
Yes.
Did you hear that they were doing a second one?
What?
I need to look at that. He was selling tickets for Fire Festival too. In Mexico, and Mexico, bless you. And Mexico was like, we don't have any pulled permits for this event. I don't know.
It's already starting.
Yeah, and everyone in the comments was like, I can't wait for the part 2 of the documentary.
You know, it's like, you know what you're signing up for. Right. They're already saying there are no permits. Please.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that is something for people to keep in mind too, that, you know, you guys are going to do everything in your power to make this an amazing event, but it is your first big like in-person event with like so just come pack a little grace just in case, you know, because there might be things we don't think about because, you know, they're not event planners. But I think having all that's going to matter is having those people in the same area, and you make whatever you make of it. I mean, hell, the first Next Level, the other like co-host wasn't there. So
that's right.
You know,
COVID.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. He was quarantined.
He was quarantined, locked in his hotel room day one.
I don't want to foreshadow your event, but they started with just 100 people in their first event. So
they did.
Yeah,
so
they did.
We went to their last event and it was crazy. And we'll be at the next event this year. We'll actually be presenting there this year.
Yeah.
Well,
it's getting huge.
I was going to say something about that because what was I going to say?
At least it doesn't just happen to me.
That's perfect.
Oh my God. What was I going to say about that? I don't know. But I know the other thing I was going to say. I know the other thing I was going to say.
We got all the selfies.
I remember now. Yes. In 2024, that was one of our goals, was back to what you were saying earlier, these events and meeting people. Our goal was to attend more events and do more collabs and meet more people. And we did that when we went to...
we were in our own little bubble.
Yeah. We didn't know any... we knew of all the people in the laser community, but we didn't know any of them.
Yeah.
And last year, we just... with what was it? APA? No.
Well, it started it all with Eon. Eon was like, come visit us at ISA. And then we went to that and I was like, these are amazing.
Yeah.
I want more of these.
Well, and we met you for the first time at the Eon holiday party, wasn't it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Holiday party.
The little
Yeah.
dinner, the little taco dinner or whatever.
Yeah, the
Nice.
taco dinner. I think it was.
Oh, yeah,
it was.
yeah.
It was.
At
But it was
ISA.
that weekend.
At ISA.
Yeah.
Was it ISA?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first
Yeah.
time we met them. Because they sat at our table.
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah,
sat at
that's
your
right.
table.
That was
Yeah,
ISA.
dinner table. We were all in the same
Yeah.
place.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why when you're like
Yeah.
the holiday party, I'm like, no, we met before that
Yeah,
at ISA,
true.
and then we
Okay,
saw them again.
yes.
And fun fact about the holiday party was that Garrett was over there with
We
no
didn't know
hat
who he
on,
was because he didn't have a hat.
with no hat on, and I'm looking out like to see like who when we first got there to see who's
Looked
who's
familiar,
around. And
but
I'm like, that looks familiar. And he's like, that's not Danny.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not no knock on you, Garrett, but I'm like,
Right.
he's too short. That's not Danny.
Yeah.
Danny's taller.
Sure guy.
Because with the bald head in the front, I'm like,
Mhm.
that's not him. I'm like, who is
He's not
that?
tall enough. Yeah.
Who is that? Then we
Right,
went
well-
over there, and then I saw Kim. I'm like, oh, he's not wearing his hat. That's why I didn't recognize him.
Oh my
I had my
God.
hat on.
Yes, he had his
Yeah.
hat, and I said,
Yeah.
"No, this is a formal thing. You're wearing a suit. You're not
And I
wearing
said,
that
yes,
hat."
it's a brand new hat. It's a formal.
That's what he said. It was a brand new hat,
feel-
and I was
I
like,
feel the
"No,
same way
you're not doing it."
about a brand new hat. It's like, no, this one's fresh. This
Yeah.
isn't just
Yeah,
a hat.
fresh.
Yeah,
I just steamed the sticker
Yeah.
off.
It's like
and
having
then
a brand
Danny
new white
walked in with
shirt.
his hat on, and
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
I was like,
He ran.
Literally
I
ran.
saw like the
Yeah.
smoke behind him. So anyway, what we were saying, I think you might have forgotten it again, but yeah, about the events and seeing people in person.
yeah.
Yes. Well, that's what I was going to say. It was just so being able to do that. Well, making that our goal and
Yeah.
having that opportunity
Well, we
to
got
go
to
to
make like
ISA
real
and
friends.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got to meet so many people. We met so many people at all of
Yeah.
the different
You
events.
hang out, you commiserate, you make
Mhm.
plans to steal baby hippos. Things
Yeah.
happen.
Hey.
Don't happen over email and
That.
messaging. You know?
Yeah,
Exactly. I mean, yeah, those things only happen at the end of the night when you've had like a drink or two, you're a little sleep deprived, and you're slap happy with the
Tell
friends
your
that.
sad story. Talk about a drink or two. That was at ISA at the Eon dinner. After the dinner, we went out to like their little patio area, and there was a bar
Mhm.
outside. I don't know if
Yep.
you guys remember.
Yeah.
And we went out there just to see who was out there and say hello. At this point,
And I get very personable after 2 or 6 drinks.
yeah,
Right.
he really
2 or
loosens
6.
up and comes out of his shell after a few drinks. And so
Mhm.
he was over there talking to Chaz.
I was like, "What's up, Chaz?" And he's like, "It's Chance."
Yeah.
I was like,
Ah.
and I was like, "Chet, what's wrong, Chet?" And he's like, "Chance."
He's like, and so I was like,
And
Garrett,
I
stop.
threw-
You're
I
being
threw
annoying.
one
I was
more
so
out.
embarrassed.
I threw one more out that was Chez or Chat or something,
Yeah.
and he goes, "I will punch you in the face."
That's very
That's
Chance.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was like, oh, I'm just
And
kidding,
I started laughing, and he goes, "No, I will punch you in the face."
That's how obnoxious he was at that moment. And I was
That's
just dying
so
a thousand
funny.
deaths. So I kept trying to change the subject,
Right.
take it, go over there and do something. Go talk to
But
someone else.
I felt like that was an icebreaker.
Yes.
We're great friends.
Yes.
They're
Well,
friends
and I
now,
mean,
and yes, it was
Getting
fun, all
someone's
fun
name
after that.
wrong is like it's a classic moment that you don't forget. Like
Yes.
Silos, I messed up his name so bad I forgot his real name because I
Mm.
called him Robert. So now in order for in an effort to remember his real name, it was Carlos Robert. I had to combine the two. And then you
Tom.
called Tom Tony, I think.
Liz's husband. Yeah, after meeting him the first time, I'm like, Tony was really cool. Isn't
I'm
that
like, who's
he's
Tony?
I'm like, Liz's husband. She's like, Tom? I'm like, I knew it started with a T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what you do. Another thing that happened at one of these events as far as like collaborative that made a huge impact on my business was Melody talked to several of the vendors and mentioned a new feature that Shopify had called Collective. And Collective has been amazing. She jokes every time I bring it up and I add like a new vendor, she'll be like, "You're welcome. That was my idea." And I was like, yes, it was. Thank you very much.
Actually, it was Shopify's idea. but
Well,
yes.
yeah, but she told me about it because, like, I mean, when it's the new stuff, I'm always really weary about,
Right.
like, is that a right fit for me? Will it actually work how I think? And she had kind of like dived into it. She knows a lot about Shopify.
Mhm.
And so I tried it with her and it was, super successful. And then I added RZ acrylics. And then we just recently added another one and maybe a second one. So 4 total so far.
Yeah.
And it's great because, you know, it's a perfect way for, especially if you're selling physical products and stuff, to have them on another website, and you know their customers can see it, add it on easily. They don't have to go make a second order.
Especially if it works, like for our instance, keychain thingies with Melody and acrylic makes sense, because if someone's buying acrylic, they can just pick up some keychain. They don't have to go to another site to pick up those keychain thingies. Right,
exactly. Yeah. So, but I don't think I would have known about that or made that, like, you know, collaborative like meet if it wasn't for being at these events.
Right.
So
yeah, you pick up so many little nuggets that you don't even know you're picking up at these little things.
Yeah,
like so many.
Yeah, you write things down or bring things back, and you're like, "Oh, let's talk to so and so," because you grab these business cards, and you guys have had a conversation.
Yep.
And I'll write on there what the conversation was, and I'll be like, "Oh,
smart.
we were gonna talk to Kristen and talk about tumblers with Kristen. You know, we met her at an Eon thing, and we had
Kim
a
and
whole."
I are separate, and I'm talking to somebody. Kim will just get a random text. You would have just gotten the word collective.
Yeah, I will get random things, yes. Yeah. And I'll know that's what he's doing, reminding himself to come back and talk about it.
Yeah.
She does that to me all the time when she has to remember something.
Oh, yeah.
She'll send it in a text. And I'm like, what's this? And she's like, I just need to remember that.
Yeah.
I just need to have it.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times I send those to myself, but if it's something he needs to know or I need help remembering, like the last time it was when we needed to ask the doctor certain questions, because every appointment we'll go in, you know, for the boys, and we'll forget, like I still forgot one, and we'll go in and, you know, we'll ask all the questions, or like they'll say, do you have any questions? And I'm like, shit, I knew we did, but what were they? And then you leave.
We're good.
Yeah, right. You pay $50 copay. I'm going to get all my money's worth. I'm going to bring all my questions. So we literally had a list of like the questions to ask while we were there for the other kid, not even the kid she was seeing. But we're like, hey, we paid. We're
yeah,
and she was great. But
some of these in.
Right.
So, what happened if the other one ate a battery?
Right. Should I be worried? Right.
So we've given our free people too much already.
We have. Yeah.
That's
but
a little off. That's a little off.
Okay. Let's give them the discount codes. Hold on. Let me
well, while you do that, where can people go to buy tickets and find you guys?
Oh, if you go to kandgmakeit.com, that's KANDGMAKEIT.com. There's a banner up there there's some info and where you can grab the tickets.
Can't miss it. Right on the homepage.
It's nice and colorful. Like the Jamboree is going to be nice and colorful.
So they are also giving all of our free listeners 15% off their store. And did you do what's the expiration date? Did you do one?
30 days.
Okay. And then is that from the air date?
Yes.
Do you know? Okay, perfect. And then what else? Oh, and then paid members or our patrons, they get to use the code and they get another discount on the tickets.
Oh.
Yes.
I realized I almost
told
we've
offered for Jamboree tickets, but I wanted to give
very
something.
special.
Right. And you guys should feel special. So join our Patreon to get that code. What is the code for our general admission?
Oh yeah, sorry. That would be helpful, right?
The code.
TRBP Jamboree. It has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, TRBP Jamboree.
For 15% off their store. And then there's another code to get some discounts, discount off the tickets.
That's right.
Yeah.
Obviously our patrons get first crack at those tickets.
Yeah.
Because 10 days later that's when this goes out to everybody else. So yet another perk.
Could be sold out by the time
by the time it comes out for general admission. So if it has, then that's another perk for you to join Patreon. Because that's why you get the early access and you get, a jump start on these offers.
Right. So now we're going to go to the paid portion where we talk shit about people.
That's right.
Just kidding. We don't.
But first it's the life update. And we're back. Life update time.
Yep.
What do we got?
So what do we have?
Cool things.
Yeah, I
We
made
actually made
these,
something.
right?
Well,
I made
we's
these.
too many people.
Well, you recorded the
All I
content
did was record
for
the
me.
content.
But yeah,
These turned out pretty good.
yeah, I really like them,
Yeah.
and people loved our video.
Yeah.
We did another collab video today.
Whose acrylic is this? 'Cause
So it's both. I think the matte acrylic is Melody CMB, and then the sparkle glitter I'm pretty sure is Amanda Cerulean Ties. The acrylic was literally perfect. Like super sparkly. I hate using shiny, glossy acrylic now, especially with something like this where it's going to be like content and pictures and that kind of stuff. The shiny is just terrible to photograph.
Yeah.
But with the glitter, it's shiny, but like the glitter kind of distracts from if there's, anything on it, hopefully a little bit. But yeah, they turned out really nice. Yeah. I really like them. I wish mine was a little bit shorter. I wonder if
Oh, the links?
Yeah, it looks like I might be able to, but I might break it.
Yeah, that's a concern. I mean, we could probably heat it up a little bit.
Oh, true. Yeah.
We could probably heat it up a little bit.
Yeah, because I want it a little bit shorter because it's like down here. I want it like here.
Yeah, well, especially when I wear this shirt, it fits right, and also
right below.
When I wear the TRBP shirt, it sits for me. It sits
true,
right under
below.
the TRBP, so it's like double TRBP. So
yeah, but I really do like. I like the shirts.
You like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right,
it's good.
So
very on brand for us.
Yes, very on brand
Black,
for us.
white, and red.
I wanted something. So if you follow me, if you follow on Instagram or on YouTube, or
if you don't, you should, because
that's what I was getting to. That's what I was getting to. So now I'm doing like actual daily, like real content. Like I feel like a real content creator.
You are,
because I'm actually like I'm giving tips and like things to do,
as you should, because otherwise you're like. I understand when people get like so busy they don't even really post anymore, and I understand because sometimes like even the painter that we had who painted like our door and a couple things on our house, he's like, I can't post because as soon as I post, then like people call me and I can't get them in for a couple months, and then I'm booked out 6 months and I don't have any flexibility in my schedule and blah blah blah. Like sometimes there's that point where you're so busy you just don't really post.
You can't commit,
but you're selling content creation, but you're not creating content, or you weren't.
Well, what I'm selling, I'm not doing myself.
Exactly.
So it's like they go to my page. It's fine. They see all these like videos for other people, but not what I'm exactly talking about. So, and then I'm leaning into, because we had this whole thing about this. I don't know how scam. He's a sleazy guy that I've talked to, but his idea is sound enough to where it's selling selling local ad, like creating local ads
and helping running them for
companies through and specifically through Instagram and Facebook on Meta.
Right.
So I started watching YouTubes because I'm YouTube University alum. I started looking at like how to run it on for different accounts and stuff like that. And he has a sound thing that if running local ads, this isn't like just running ads. Yeah. This is like localizing it to within a 20-mile radius. It like, especially here where we are, it's an untapped market. Yeah. Will it work here? I don't know, but no one's doing it. Right. So it's very like enticing to like start to, and then these packages, like I'm running your essentially your video marketing. Right. So with that in mind, I don't have any of those videos that I'm trying to get people to buy from me. Right. So I started doing them for myself, and it's funny because I've seen almost better interaction on my personal page than on my work page. But my personal page is private, and I'm not going to change that. Right. So it's like only my friends and like people who are, and I don't accept everybody because it's my personal page. Right. My Riley Black Media is public, so everyone can see it. But yeah. So I think the fact that it is my personal page, people know me. A lot of them are like my video friends from down south. So, but it has better reach and more engagement than the other stuff. But a lot of people are sharing it, and I've gotten a few phone calls. I don't know if they've been directly from that, but and then I'm just getting practicing and content on my Instagram and Facebook, so that when people see my ads locally and they go to Riley Black Media,
even one of our friends reached out and was like, "Hey, I think I want you to do that for me soon."
Right.
So
so it's like you know, it's definitely
Yeah.
like working. So with that, I kind of wanted, since I'm newly pushing it and everything like that, I wanted like an eye-catching new logo, because before the other one was cool. It said RBM
Right.
with like a box on the top in smaller letters, said
Right.
Riley Black Media.
Right.
So it's kind of like I wanted Riley Black Media to like really stand
Yeah.
out. So, and keep the RBM, because that is part of the like logo on my hats and stuff.
Yeah.
And then on the back of the shirt, I put Film Crew,
Mm-hmm.
and then the RileyBlackMedia.com and RBM again.
I did that in red.
And then you added the .com. Red.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted RBM to like, even though it's like all, but to
Right.
stand out, so that when I wear my RBM stuff,
Yep.
it's still like noticeable, so I can still wear the old merch and the
Yeah.
new stuff. And yeah, just be more eye popping and like people, especially like I hope, the hope is I'm out somewhere, especially like at a networking meeting, they see Film Crew,
Right.
then they're like, oh, you know, you're filming, especially if they don't see a camera on me.
Right.
Oh, what are you guys filming here or whatever, this and that. Like, oh, well, nothing, but this is my company.
Right.
If you ever need a video, here's my card.
Yeah.
Call me. So it's like getting people to, you know, talk to me about it.
For sure. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I like the design. Thank you, ChatGPT.
Yeah, what else? I've been doing more content as well. I've been pushing myself outside of my comfort zone.
A lot of twerking going on.
And just a little bit. And so I've been doing videos. I'll pack the orders for the day and choose a 90s hip hop or R&B song and, you know, reminisce. It's been bringing everybody back to, oh, I know that song word for word, or my kids didn't believe me that we danced to this in middle school at our, you know, our dance thing, our school dance, you know, stuff like that. So that's been great. A lot of good interaction. We actually we went to pick up these shirts at our local shirt shop, and she actually commented that she was loving the videos that I was making, and it actually gave them an idea for like if someone at their place, you know, should do that, because I think they're mostly on TikTok. And TikTok and Facebook. I don't know how much they post on Facebook, but
mostly TikTok. I don't see too much on Facebook.
Yeah. So but and like she might have liked the post or something, but I just didn't, you know, you don't see every single like that happens on the post, even if you're like watching that. And so it was nice because it was like the first time I actually got someone, you know, in person who was like seeing my content and liking it.
Right.
And then, you know, there's the couple few who are like, oh, I look forward to these every day. And, you know, I only do them Monday through Friday. I feel like I kind of gave myself the weekends off. Maybe if I batch eventually, you know,
well, I mean, also,
but
disclosure, like we don't pack on the weekends.
Right. Yeah,
we
I don't pack.
Orders.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll pack on a Saturday if it's something I really want to get out, especially if there's like a holiday on Monday.
Yeah.
For sure. But for the most part, you know, it's Monday through Friday for packages. So yeah, on the weekends I'm not packing packages. Usually we're counting and weighing keychain thingies. But yeah, so just trying to get out there, trying to navigate these weird ass times. Wondering how tariffs might affect us eventually. We're tossing around a bunch of ideas. The good thing is that, you know, at least a couple of my good selling products as far as keychain thingies go, they're not all produced in China. So that saves me a little bit. I don't have to worry about the insane tariffs that are currently going on with China right now, between China and America. But yeah, I think that's really all we got going on. We're just trying to plan events. We got to book our hotel room soon for Next Level. We need to book our hotel room and flights for Jamboree. We should do that like this week. We should maybe even look after we get off.
Maybe.
And but yeah, I'm excited for all that's coming up. If there's anything you would like to see from us, you know, we kind of stayed after and talked to Kim and Garrett a little bit. Brainstorming ideas on how to
Zoom
to
calls
grow
we're
and
throwing up in the air.
Give more to you guys.
Yeah, more live content.
Yeah.
Because right now our live is pretty much the monthly After Darks.
Which
for our
are mostly for patrons. We do 4 a year that are open to everybody. But we're thinking about maybe doing some lives on YouTube or, you know, that kind of stuff. Just see what we can what we can do for that.
So let us know, like what times help for you, like what you would like to see, if anything. You know, what that would look like to help us like plan, or even like topics for lives that you want to hear about. Is it like more business or you know, machines or whatever? Just let us know what you guys want to hear. What would bring value to you that you want to see from us, from your favorite podcast.
Faux show.
And with that, it's been another great episode of the Right Black Project. Crystal and John.
Bye.
Maybe we're all done. The Right Black Project. Bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Nino, I'm recording.